The blue light of the terminal is cold, like the silence in this hub. It reflects my own face back at me, a stranger's mask of exhaustion. Sweat stings my temple. My own breathing sounds too loud, a ragged counterpoint to the soft, relentless chime of the clock. 7 seconds. Each chime is a hammer blow against my ribs. On the screen, Ilara's face is overlaid with that pulsing red stamp, non-priority. It's a corporate death sentence, delivered by an algorithm. Below it, the numbers tell the whole story. 412. Not enough. Never enough. My hand shakes, hovering between the two choices they've given me. It's not a choice. It's a trap. One button condemns Ilara to a slow, thirsty death in a conservation camp. The other condemns Silas. Old Silas, who grows a single rose for a wife he lost on the journey here. A memory of Earth, he called it. A severe water waste, the system calls it. The terminal's voice, a calm, synthetic woman, warns me that inaction is also a choice. 3 seconds. My eyes burn. I see his rose. I see Ilara's cough. I see the water dispenser in our hab. 2 seconds. The sweat rolls down my face. My hand stops trembling. It becomes a tool, a separate thing from me, moving with a will of its own. 1 second. 3 days ago, my biggest fear was a micrometeorite breach. But in the silence of Mars, you learn the real dangers aren't outside. They're in the choices they give you. To understand how I ended up here, trading one life for another, you have to go back 72 hours. It started with a cup of water. Our hab unit hummed with the quiet stability of managed life. I handed the cup to Ilara, and the dispenser chimed, a sound as normal as breathing. On our wall screen, our civic contribution score was a healthy green 580. Safe. We were safe. Here, under the Solcorp dome, safety is everything. It's a fragile peace you earn one compliant day at a time. My only job, the only thing that mattered, was keeping that number high enough to protect Ilara. Her lungs, weakened in the early terraforming days, were a constant, quiet worry. That little glass terrarium she tended was our small piece of defiance, a sanctioned patch of green in a world of red dust and sterile metal. And then the chime changed. It wasn't the familiar sound of a water credit deduction. It was sharp, invasive. The whole room flooded with red light. Aqua consumption audit. The words flashed on the screen, branding my wife a liability. Her nebulizer, the very thing that helped her breathe, was reclassified as non-essential. Our score plummeted. 580 became 410 in an instant. A 72-hour timer appeared, counting down her life. The system showed us a video of the conservation camp, a place people went and never came back from. I pleaded with a holographic administrator, a face with no empathy, a voice that just repeated the mantra. The algorithm is final. So I worked. I took every high-risk exterior job I could, crawling over pipes in the thin atmosphere. The red dust my constant companion. I'd come back, exhausted and aching, just to watch the score creep up. 411, 412. It was like trying to fill an ocean with a thimble. With hours left and hope gone, there was only one place left to go. The place where the system offers its final, cruel bargains. My finger pressed the screen, and the system chimed its approval. Not with a klaxon, but a soft, pleasant tone. Report submitted. Plus 150 CCS awarded. Just like that, our score jumped to 462. Green, safe. Ilara's status was reinstated. Priority. The words seemed hollow, mocking. Relief washed over me so hard my knees buckled, but it was followed by a wave of nausea. A self-loathing so profound I could barely breathe. I stumbled back to our hab, the green light above our door a beacon of my shame. Ilara ran to me, her eyes shining with tears of relief. You did it! How? I couldn't meet her gaze. The lie came easily, a poison on my tongue. The high-risk detail. The points just came through. Then we heard them. Heavy metallic footsteps, marching in perfect sync down the corridor. 2 Solcorp enforcers, clad in sterile white armor, stopped at Silas's door. A loud bang, and they were inside. We watched from our doorway as they dragged the old man out, confused and frail in his sleepwear. Another enforcer followed, holding the small pot with its single red rose. He didn't hesitate. He dropped it into the disposal chute, and a brief grinding sound was the only eulogy it received. As they led Silas away, his eyes found mine. There was no anger, no hatred, just a deep, soul-crushing disappointment that shattered me more than any accusation ever could. I looked away. The next morning, a notification chimed on our wall screen. Mandatory job reassignment. When I arrived, a manager with cold, placid eyes explained my promotion. My actions, he said, showed an exemplary understanding of communal responsibility. I had prioritized the system over sentiment. He told me my new role was intake analyst. He showed me a screen, a dashboard of our entire hat block's data, water usage, private messages, flagged activities, and there, I saw it, a grayed-out entry. Silas. Status, transferred. What I submitted wasn't just a report, it was an application, a loyalty test. By proving I would sacrifice a neighbor to save myself, I had proven I was fit to enforce the system. I returned home a different man. Ilara was humming, tending her terrarium, blissfully unaware. She was safe. I had won. I had saved her by becoming the gatekeeper of the very cage we lived in. A month has passed. The gray Solcorp uniform is crisp, comfortable. It fits better than my old technician's jumpsuit ever did. My new office is silent, save for the low hum of the servers and the soft click of my console. I've become efficient, detached. The data streams flow across my screen. Families, scores, consumption rates. I am no longer a man fighting the numbers. I am the one who assigns them. I flag infractions, initiate remediation windows, and move on. The faces blur into data points. This morning, a new case appeared. A holographic projection of a young couple flickered to life before me. They were desperate, their voices trembling. Their son had a fever. They used extra water to cool him down. A medical necessity, the woman pleaded. Her words were an echo of my own, a ghost from a life that feels like it belonged to someone else. I listened to their story, the same story of love and fear that had almost destroyed me. My expression remained unreadable. I said nothing. The system doesn't require a response, only a judgment. My hand moved to the console, steady and sure. I pressed the button. Their hologram vanished, replaced by the black, reflective surface of my monitor. And in it, I saw only my own face, impassive and cold, looking straight back at me. On Mars, they tell you water is the price of life, a simple transaction. But the real cost is never listed. You pay with your choices, your loyalties, your compassion. You pay with everything that makes you human, until your debt is settled.